sorted. Thank you for doing that, Wang. So Wang's going to help me out today if there's anything that I need to follow up on. And that was what was being said here. Let's double check. No, that's fine, Shireen. Yeah, totally fine, my darling. Good. Right. So this is how this works with our Q&A session. If you've got a question, anything to do with visibility, profile building, what else? Yeah, just getting yourself more visible and out there, this is the place to be. So what I want you to do is just raise your virtual hand, and then obviously I'll be able to do it in order, and then I'll try and answer your questions as best as I can. And if I can't, then I'll find the answer and I'll give it to you. Alrighty. So who is first? Let me have a look in the chat. In participants. Okay, Helen, my darling. Over to you, my darling. How are you doing first?
Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, I have 2 questions, so we'll see if we get time for a follow-up one. But my first question is, so I'm doing this this workshop this afternoon, and it's for a Toastmasters club that's in a company. So I mentioned it as one of the things I'm doing this week, and it's just, I suppose, to have some reminders on how to like maximize that in terms of the opportunity that it is.
Okay, right, brilliant. So this is great. So this is just as a reminder as we're speaking, I'm going to obviously answer people's questions, but guys, if you have any ideas as well, I'm more than happy to crowdsource some responses. So feel free to put some of your feedback in the chat, because there's going to be things that you may think about that I don't think about, which will be really good for Helen or for anybody asking any questions. So just to confirm, Helen, you're saying that you're doing a workshop for Toastmasters within a company, and you want to know ways that you can maximize that.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, because it's going to be on communicating with confidence. So it links in with, with what I help people with anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Doing communicating with confidence, and it's a talk. How long is your talk?
It's half an hour. And that includes a bit of space for questions and answers as well.
Okay. So, and out of interest, I just want to take it back a bit. When you were asked to do this, or when you pitched to do this, was it just a one-off talk, or is it part of a bigger program? Is what's going on within the company that you can leverage on?
That is a good question. I was asked to do it on the back of, I delivered this workshop at a Toastmasters conference. Okay. And the person that asked me to do it for that loved it so much, she asked me to come and do it for her company's Toastmasters club.
Awesome. So, and this is for everybody. So although I'm answering Helen, I want everyone to make sure they're just taking it in if it's relevant to them as well. So I would always say, when someone's asked you to do a talk, any talk, always find out what else is going on within the organization. Because maybe, solo and one-off talks it's not as impactful as it can be if it's part of a bigger offering or bigger program. So always, like if your friend has said, oh, I would love you to deliver this. So what you want to be saying in conversation is, okay, I'm more than happy to do this, but why? Why is the communication an issue, and why is confidence an issue? What's going on? What's the bigger picture? What's the bigger impact? So those things, because then you can say, happy to do a talk, but there might be some other things I can offer as well. So that lands. So it's not just a one-off activity or exercise. So for those and for yourself who haven't done that pre-work, what you can do is go back to that lady and say, I'm going to do this, but what I'm also going to do is I'm going to gather some notes from the questions that are being asked, because there might be scope to do something else. There might be scope to either come in and do a bit of executive coaching, one-to-one or in smaller groups. And just say, in your experience, doing a one-off talk is only limited. And how are we going to measure the impact of that talk? Because you want to say to them, you don't want to waste people's time just coming. What else can we do to make sure that this is land and that this is embedded, so that we can see some results, rather than just do these one-off things here and there. So and so that's the best thing to do. So what you'll do after you do your talk, definitely leave, and I would say leave enough room for Q&As, because their questions are going to be very telling. Based on those questions, you can then put together like recommendations for your friend and say, listen, based on these questions that I've answered as best I can in the time I was given, but there's scope there to do something more. So that's one of the ways that you could leverage that one talk. And that's for everybody. If you do one-off talks, always make room for Q&A, because they will be the bedrock or the foundation for you to do recommendations on the back of. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything else to offer, Helen? Feel free to unmute yourself straight away if you have. That's fine, because we're a small group. Janine?
I was just going to say, if it's Toastmasters, right? So they had you involved in Toastmasters before, and then they brought you in here. Maybe there's opportunity for you to reach out to other Toastmasters groups, or you can even maybe pitch the Toastmasters magazine, you know, the one that goes out to everybody. If they're interested in it, it's obviously something that lines up with Toastmasters. So then you could be in the publication, and then more talks might come from that.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Janine.
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you for that. That's really great. And I think that will work really well, because once you've done one, replicate that. And now you've got that, and make sure you get testimonials from hired you, and find out if some of the feedback that you get, because once you want to do like a like a post review, you know, just say to the lady, you know, what was the feedback that you got from some of the people who attended? Whatever she says, write it down, and then you've got feedback from the attendees as well, because it might be harder to get testimonials from them directly, so get it in the form of feedback.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And congratulations to that as well. That's going to be amazing.
It is. It's really fun.
Yeah. Well, please do share in the Profile Builder group afterwards how it went, all the good things. We're looking forward to hearing how that went today.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Brilliant. Patricia, you're up next, my dear. How can we help?
Hi all. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, my darling.
Well, I think this will be more easier. I hope so. So as you all know that when somebody become part of the family GTeX, and you have 3 intensive days, and we preparing the offer with regarding who you want to, you know, to show, if it's a company or it's individual, whatever it's about. And then I went to, as you know, to corporate also a meeting, and we discussed about a proposal. And my question is, as I did before offer to corporate, and now we discuss about proposal, am I able to combine these two together, or needs to be separate, or I need to completely change my offer and just must be in a proposal? I am a little bit confused. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, so you're saying you went to the 3-day Explode and you created an offer there. Who was the offer for at Explode? Who was the...
Was exactly also the same way for corporate, for organization, regarding my program.
All right, so it's 3-day Explode. Your target was corporate companies, yeah?
Yes.
Brilliant. Awesome. And then you said that you did the Get Into Corporates training, and we were talking about proposals. And what's the question around that bit?
Because in proposal, we discuss about how will be your offer there. And this makes me confused. Am I able to use this what I prepared before, or is completely needs to be different? Okay,
right, I get you. So let's go back a bit. An offer and a proposal are 2 different things. First,
okay.
So what are you in your proposal? You're presenting your offer in the proposal.
All right, that's why I was confused.
So that's how it works. So in your proposal, you might be talking about you know, this is the program that I can give you, this is the offer, this is the results, these are the benefits, all of those great stuff, based on the conversation that you had with the company. So your proposal should never be something new to them.
Okay.
This is for anybody who's doing who did the corporate training. Your proposal shouldn't be new. Your proposal should be based on the conversations you've already had with the company, and basically it's more of a conceptual agreement, and then just basically codifying what's already been said.
I understand. So first is offer. So as I understand, Michelle, so first is offer, and then when I have conversation, then I'm preparing proposal for them after the conversation. Am I right?
And so remember, so you may have an offer, yeah, in your back room, but you'll have a conversation with the corporate and you listen to what they're looking for, and then you can weigh up, do I currently have an offer that meets their need now, or do I need it?
Or
So
I need to change.
discuss with them, and then that's what goes in your proposal.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes, so I think
so what can you do with that information now? What's your next step?
So because at the moment I still on feedback with regarding my offer, because I got another 2 people wants to see my offer.
Who are you getting from?
Sorry?
Who are you getting feedback from?
So they found me on LinkedIn and they are leaders. But I don't know these people, so they just found me on LinkedIn somehow. Probably they are maybe one of the list. So maybe they found me from my friends who are my connect. I don't know these people. So I didn't book yet because I just back last week from my holiday and I just organizing this week everything. So they told me that they would like to see my offer and also hear about my program. So I'm still, you know, on feedback.
Okay. And what you want to do, you want to make sure that when you're getting feedback, that you want to make sure that at least one of your target audience is in that feedback. It's no use getting lots of feedback from people like us who are all entrepreneurs. You want to try and see if you probably use a company that you've used before, someone within there, and just say, listen, I'm putting on this, I want to put this offer together to target corporate companies like yours, but because I've worked with you before, I really love to get your feedback on it, because they are your perfect target market. You want to make sure you got feedback from them. They are the bright. We are just nice to have.
I will ask them to put on LinkedIn, because the previous one, they just told me, but they didn't put nothing. So I need to now be sure that they can put something on LinkedIn. Thank you, Michelle, for that.
No problem.
I have just one quick question.
Okay.
Last one. I don't know if you can help me, but maybe someone from our family. So I know that you can do workshop by LinkedIn and you're using some certain templates or something. It's a form. I don't know how it's done, because I asked already some people and they told me that this is not easy way to do it and it's costs. And I want to listen if somebody already did on LinkedIn, if somebody already did workshop by LinkedIn. So you promote yourself and you're showing your workshop and people can connect and go straight away to your workshop by that link.
I have not seen it, but it sounds like I haven't seen that, but I know that people have had events and they can promote it on LinkedIn and invite people to the events that way. And if you have LinkedIn Live, you can run a workshop using the LinkedIn Live facility. So those are the 2 that springs to mind. I don't know of anything else. Just putting it out to anyone else. Does anyone else has anyone else seen anyone run a workshop through LinkedIn? Carolina?
Yes, I have participated in some. So it is popping up on our page and offering a free participation, whether in mindfulness meditation or what was the other one. I did 2 or 3 already. I don't know how it works, but I'm just kind of, it is always free. You can just sign up for it. So, but it seems like as if it was run by LinkedIn itself. So it's several offers and you can choose from.
Yeah. So I think, Patricia, it might be just worth, you know, especially, you know, you might want to just check in with LinkedIn, put this question out as a poll.
Okay.
You know, have you heard, or as a question, have you heard about running workshops through LinkedIn? Because people on LinkedIn will probably know. That might be the best way. But yeah, definitely do that.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Karima, and thank you, Michelle.
All right, my dear, thank you. And there's comments there's some comments in the chat as well, so also take a look there. Brilliant. Okay, so we have Janine, over to you, my dear.
Hi, Michelle. I don't know whether this is the best place to ask this question or whether I should wait for our call on Wednesday. It's around the recent offer that got accepted. I'm going to be doing a focus group this week, and then I'm going to be doing a talk. But with the focus group, I haven't actually run a focus group in this way before. So I just wanted your thoughts on like whether I'm missing anything. So can I just share with you how I'm going to approach it, and then you let me know if there's anything else?
Yeah, that sounds good. Go for it.
Okay, so basically the focus group, it's for a global organization, and they are considering training up an internal coach so that they have a career coach that is internal within the organization. So they want me to come in and have a session with them to talk about things that they might not have thought of, or things that they need to be thinking about career coaching. So my thoughts around how to like facilitate that session was going to be to share some stats and some information about in-house versus external coaching, what the benefits of internal are, raise some what could be stumbling blocks, so things like confidentiality, and who, you know, if the coach is coaching internal people, what is their obligation to the organization and to the internal people. So raise those things, and then open up, like basically for them to ask me any questions about my specific coaching experience. It's going to be 60 minutes. That's what I'm thinking, but just I wanted to ask you if you were facilitating something like this. It's like 4 people, so it's kind of like the head of department, someone who might be the coach that they're going to train up, and a couple other people.
Yeah, I like that. I'm just trying to think. So you've covered stats, sharing the benefits of internal, the stumbling blocks, obligation. What else could you include? I don't know. To be fair, I think that's a really good mix, because each of those areas is going to trigger questions from them anyway.
Okay, yeah.
And remember, you've only got 60 minutes. This could easily go over 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Because especially if it's new to them, they're going to have lots and lots of questions, and you want to make time for them to ask as many questions as they possibly can. So I think what you've got there, and exactly how you said, you're there to facilitate conversation, to get them to speak, to, you know, to embrace the dialogue. So I think the way that you're doing it is right. I wouldn't even overthink it. Literally, you know, cover those 4 areas that you mentioned, and then open it up to them if they've got any other questions, or even find out from them, do they have any experience, probably not at that company, but have they ever experienced other internal coaches, what worked well for them then, and what didn't, because you want to find out what didn't, because that's where you plug in, or that's where your expertise will come in.
Yeah, okay.
So I think I love that. So yeah, ask them what experience have they had of coaches in general, probably what's worked, what hasn't worked. So you know, in terms of when you need to put this, because this is a focus group, when you put your package together to train or develop that career coach, you know what to put in. And yeah.
Okay. Would you have slides, like 1 or 2 slides, or would you just go in and be like?
I probably wouldn't, because it's 4 people. I would really want it to be more discursive, and where you mention some of the stats. Now, you're mentioning the stats because it's showing your credibility, but to them, it will just go, you know, over their head. They're more interested. what's the difference between me having an internal coach? We train someone up in-house. They'll know everybody. That's all the benefits, you know, do all the pros and cons, rather than having somebody external. That's what they want to know. And whatever their result is, why they're getting a coach, always just go back to that. Always go back to that, in terms of your outcome is this. This is what you want to get at the end of it for your employees. So, you know, this is why training up somebody in-house will be better, or whatever it is. So always keep it results driven. Always results driven. I think Carolina has something to say. Go for it, my dear.
Yes. So as a teacher, you know, I would maybe not have the slides, but I would definitely have some handout, something like whether the point.
Carolina, it's going to be virtual.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were going into that company. Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe even then, you know, some opportunity to download from your website or something.
Like a one-pager.
Yeah. Maybe just, you know, like a thoughts or tick box. Right. Have you thought of this or that? Or maybe just the points of the presentation that you will cover, but at least something to take. I would have that. Just
that's a good idea. You could like summarize points that you're sharing.
Yeah.
Almost like agenda items, but really it's just summarizing all what's been spoken about. I think that'd be really a nice touch, actually.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
Sounds good. God, I can't wait to hear how that goes. And when do you start?
So that's on Thursday. Thursday evening my time. It's they're in the States, so it's 8 p.m. my time, 1 p.m. their time.
And how are you feeling about it?
I feel okay. I feel like I'm doing that for them, and then I'm doing the talks.
Yes, that's right.
I feel like if I would have led with the talks, I'd feel more comfortable, just because I haven't done it in this format before, but I'm sure I'll be fine. Like, it's not covering anything that I'm not like familiar with, but it just feels different.
It is. Oh, it's growth stages, babes. Growth stages.
Growth. Thanks, yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. Brilliant. So, Carolina, over to you.
So I am organizing a summit with 36 speakers, and it happens to be Helen, one of them, Claire Ford, another one of them, and then Joe participating in a conversation. And it is a real struggle, you know, to get everything from everyone, and also to advertise. So my question is, I have many. How would you advertise? Maybe you have something that I haven't thought of, because what I am doing, I'm asking the participants to, you know, to kind of blow their trumpets that they are participating in this. It is for families, so I am approaching all family pages and trying to put it up. Some will allow me, some won't. I am emailing my tribe, my ex-students, nursery nurses, people from the nursery. But to be honest, I don't know if it's the school beginning, if they are still in holiday mood. There is not that much interest that one would expect. So I am like getting really tense and panicking. And what I have been thinking now, that hence this thingy behind me, to have an award for anyone who is interested in helping me with advertising and being associated with supporting families, or an event that supports families. So I'm thinking of Happy Parent equals Happy Child Summit Award as like a best supporter of families award or something. But I have no clue to who to offer that.
Okay, Caroline, I'm going to stop you there. So just want to put it into context for everybody. So you've got two parts there. So you want to find out how you can market it. So it might be good for you to share with us how you've already marketed it, or what have you got in mind. So then we can think of some gaps that you may not have thought of. And then the second part is, so Carolina wants to offer an award, or award and recognition for the person that goes out to get as many people to come in. So she wants to get feedback on what do you think about that idea. So can we crowdsource? So before that, so Carolina, just share with us, what marketing have you done already?
So basically, this is donation-based. The whole summit is donation-based, and I offered the whole income to the Mindfulness in Schools project, which is a non-profit organization teaching teachers to teach children to meditate. However, they are under reorganization, so I thought they will help me with advertising it, and through association, it's going to be kind of somehow advertised, but they are like not doing anything at all. So then I have the list of people that I emailed. Then we have Eventbrite that should be up everywhere, but I'm not sure. I don't see it as such, you know, because I am the one who organized it or set it up. And then we have those parents groups where I advertise. And then I have the 36 speakers to kind of bring in the people they are not able to help to, because that's what I am actually doing. You know, I have parents that asked me for help, but then I don't know how to help someone whose child is really coping with anxiety. I'm a teacher, not a psychologist.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there one more time. So let's make sure we keep focused. So the marketing. So you've done Eventbrite, and I know that you've been put it on social media. Brilliant. And I know you've got a video to come because I've seen it, and it's going to be a game changer. So that's great. There's also some shares in the comments, some really great shares. So Helen said that she loves the idea of the awards. That's a great idea. People do love competition. Claire has said, send email swipes to each of the speakers. Have you done that?
Yeah.
And so they've already got collateral that they can send out. They don't even need to think about it.
Okay, how? Because I have sent an email which had about 7 points what I need, and there was one like, help me with advertising. Here is the Eventbrite link.
No, so the email swipes that Claire's referring to, which is a great idea for anyone actually. If you want other people to help promote your event, it's easier if you create the email for them as an option. They can decide whether they want to use that. So you create the email for them, and you can do a couple for them, and you can give them the image, you can give them the email format, so they literally are just copy and pasting, so they don't need to think about it. And I always say, when people are doing something for you, you want to make it as easy as possible. So you create whatever graphics they need, you create the email for them, and you just literally say, here is the email to go out. Could you send this to your list once a week or something? Here's the graphic that you can use on social media. So lots of people who run events, they do that. So that might help as well in terms of, so you're not impinging on other people's time too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what an email swipe file is. And there's some other really good points. So Angela Ward's put a really great point. NHS England have some guidance on getting mental health into schools, and maybe you could try and link in with them somehow. So that's an option.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely look at, Janine has said, do you have a list of people that you know would specifically benefit? And yeah, she's done that. So Janina said, is there anyone that you know that you can directly speak to and ask them to help you market? And I know you've done that, but there's probably more people you could do that with.
I am doing it right now to everybody.
Yeah. And Claire says, ask to do an interview with each speaker with their community. That's a brilliant idea. That's a good idea. But you think about it, you have 36 speakers, which is an awful lot, right? 36 speakers. And if each of those speakers, let's just say only half of them, they've got their own Facebook groups, why don't you go in and say, could I do an interview with you as a speaker in your Facebook group or in your LinkedIn group or whatever group they have? So that's a really good way, because now you're in front of their community and their audience.
Mm-hmm. So far, I have done their interview on my page.
Yeah, but we want to get in front of their community.
Mm-hmm.
But that's good. So out of those things, which ones can you commit to doing?
I will try all of them, definitely.
Okay, what is all of them? Let's talk for specifics. What's all of them?
Yeah, create the emails.
Awesome. Yeah.
With images that I'm going to send out to each participant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will ask everyone if I could have that interview in front of their audience or their tribe.
And who is there anyone here who's one of your speakers? Is Helen?
Yeah, Claire, Helen.
Helen, can she in your group? Can you interview her in your group?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Claire?
Guys, I do interviews every week. You know, I'm happy to interview everybody from GTeX in my group. And especially, Carolina, when I'm one of your guests on your summit. Of course, we're going to promote it in my group.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Got two there already. All right. So just get in contact with the rest of the 34. You'll be very busy if they've all got groups. But that's a perfect way. So thank you, Claire, for that share. That's a perfect way to get in front of more people. And give yourself a target. Give yourself a target of how many more people you want. So you're working towards a figure. So it's not just random. You're working towards a figure. Then you know where you are. All right.
Well, to increase with, I mean, 100 is my target for my Zoom calls are limited to 100 people. So we will have 3 Zoom conversations. So if everybody participated, that would be 100 people.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good. Brilliant. All right. I've written down your to-do actions. So good. I've written down everybody's.
Please, everyone, if you would like to share that event, I would really appreciate. So
what you can do, this is the way to do it. Go into the profile builder group. Do it this way so it doesn't look like you're spamming. Go in and reintroduce yourself. Say, hi, I'm Carolina. This is what I do. Love being part of this community. Also, I'm running my my virtual summit in October. I would love for you to attend. Check it out and put the link. And then that way we all know to share it without you having to say share it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Right. We're going to go to Rushi and then we'll go back to Helen and Patricia. Rushi, over to you, my dear.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, darling.
So my question is that I wanted to ask, I mean, it's a very basic question. I had to send an article to Harrow. And so what is the description that I should be writing when I just kind of send them for the very first time? Is it going to be just a paragraph or the entire article?
So in terms of the subject matter, whatever subject matter they've put, use that same one because they would have put a subject matter. And it depends on what they're asking for. Are they asking you to write the article or they're asking, does anyone know or has an interest in or expertise in? Then you can just respond to say, hi, I'm Rushi, responding to this request. I have an expertise in this. Just list 2 or 3 things. Happy to, if this is what you're looking for, I'm happy to write. I'm happy to do the article. Don't do the article. Don't waste your time doing it unless you know for certain that's what they're asking for. Because what they tend to do, they'll read it and think, oh yeah, brilliant. This is the perfect person. And they'll just get back to you and say, yeah, could you write for us? And then they'll tell you the word count, if there is any, and whatever else they'll need. So I will say, just show them that you are the right fit, the right person to respond to this because of A, B, C, and D. And then let them know that you're available to write the article today. Something like that. You want a quick response. So that's the best and easier way to do it. Don't write the article yet.
Okay, thank you. And the other question was, I'm speaking on the 30th of September at a conference in Birmingham. So that's a medical conference and I'm speaking on medical 3D printing. The thing is that I have my book, I have my course, I have my company, which is in India. So what will be the best way to kind of leverage this conference? So I have an option of going there because they've given both ways. I mean, the speakers can, if they want, they can attend virtually and speak virtually, or you can even go there. So up until now, I had taken the virtual option. Because this was something which I was requested to speak like some 6 months before. So back then it was all virtual. So now I have both the options. So what would you say? How should I leverage this event?
Are you happy to do it in person?
So actually, I was not wanting to go in person unless, yeah.
Okay, so if you want to stick to the virtual, the same thing. So what you want to do from the event organizers is to say to them, you're going to do it virtually, but you're doing your talk. Are you able to make an offer on your talk? Are you able to say,
yes.
So that's, you definitely want to capitalize on that and give them enough time. But what you don't want it to do is like you're selling at the end. So you want to be seeding throughout your talk. Just, like I tend to do this. Like I would say, if I was talking about getting to corporates, I would say, I'm going to share you one bit of my corporate profit framework. This is what I do with my clients. So I'm already seeding that you're not going to hear everything. I'm giving you a piece of this. If you want to know more, you've got to work with me. So that's how you want to do it throughout, rather than just leave it to the very end. And remember as well, not everybody stays to the very end. People switch off. So you want to be engaging them with how to work with you throughout. And then at the end, you can say, you can either buy my books, you can come to my course, and find out if you can GDP or make sure that you're just following GDPR rules, but find out if you can get the list of attendees from the event organizers. And so all the event organizer needs to do is say, put an email out to the attendees to say that their details will be shared with the speakers. That's it. And then they can opt in or opt out. And then you can get a list of the attendees. That which would be nice, because then you can build your own relationship with people that attended your talk, which is ideal. That's what you really want. But obviously you need to seek permission from the event organizer first. And the best thing to, then obviously you have your contact details where people can contact you. Make sure all your links are working, because you don't want them to click a link and then it blocks them or there's something. So that's for everybody, even myself. Always check your links that you send out, that they're all working. Because the people, they'll click it, they can't get through, they're not going to try again tomorrow. They'll just leave it, and you don't want to lose any potential clients. Sounds good. And that's on the 30th, yeah?
Yeah, it's on the 30th. Yeah, I just wanted to ask that what would be the additional benefit if I plan to go there? Because it's not a stall, I'm a speaker there. So it's not, I hadn't booked for a stall or something like that.
Yeah, but it's I think if you could go there, it's just being present with those people who are there. It's the people just respond differently when they see in person, don't they? I mean, look, we met in person on Saturday.
Exactly.
And it was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So there is an extra level of just energy when you do meet people in person. So that's the first thing. And when you're there, people come up to you, you can take their details straight away. You don't even need the GDPR, because they're talking to you directly. And you can, if you've got your books, you can sell it to them directly. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, isn't there? But yeah, and I think Jan said something. Did you say something, Jan? Being face to face now, before many people are being, yeah. So Jan's made a good point about doing things face to face. People are now getting brave enough to go out. Always be COVID precautious, but yeah, I think it'd be nice if you could. If not, it can still work online, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, I will consider that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. And take someone with you, so that just for that added support. If people sometimes you get loads of people coming up to you after you speak, and you're just like, oh my god. Just getting someone, if someone says I want to buy your book, you can just say, oh, if you just go to that person, then they can buy the book while you talk to the next person.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on. So let's go back. So Helen, you've got another question?
Yeah. I came across an opportunity to speak on stage next year, and then a bit to my surprise, like there's a fee to speak. And so I really just wanted a reminder of I guess things to consider, because I my initial reaction was, well, no way, because I'm looking to get paid speaking opportunities, but then I was just like, no, I should ask Michelle about what I need to think about.
Yeah, so there's so much different thoughts about being paying to speak on stage, but this is how you've got to see it. If your ideal audience are there, it's not paying to speak, it's marketing. Just like you will pay for Google ads to get in front of your right audience, and you do a video on your Google ad, it's the same thing. If you know, and you want to find out what you're going to get from it. So let's say, obviously you get your ideal audience, so then the responsibility is on you to do a good job, because then you can convert and you'll make the money back up, depending on how much. I don't know how much you've got to pay, but then it depends on how much you're going to pay. And think of numbers. If you've got to pay £1,000 and your course is £500, you need to sell at least 2 to make a profit. That's how I would always work it out. And so that means I will make a beeline to certain people who look like they were interested in my talk, and then say to them, what do you think? Have conversations with them, get them to buy either today or tomorrow, whenever. So you've made your money back up. Also, you want to see if will they be taking pictures, photographs, will it be videoed? But think about it. Videos and photography all by itself is probably costing you more if you were just to invest in an event. So get good quality footage. You can pay thousands of pounds for that. So if
it's true,
at an event they're going to charge you, I don't know, £500, but you get the photography, you get the video, and you're in front of your ideal audience, it's a no-brainer.
Yes.
And then and you build up all this collateral. So now when you start positioning yourself as, I'm a paid speaker, you've got to say, look at all these images, look at where I've spoken before, because now they're the quality. You can't use footage from your phone and say you're a paid speaker and that's the footage you're putting out on your social media. That will never work. People wouldn't believe you. If you're a paid speaker, I'm already thinking you must be good. You must be premium. So, I mean, we had an event on Saturday that myself, Claire and Rishi was like, I brought my own entourage, Helen. I brought my own entourage because I needed, for 2 reasons. I did it because I just want to bring my own people. But secondly, it's the perception. The fact that I did it, people were already thinking, oh, who is this? People who don't know me, already thinking, who is this? Then I spoke and then it was like, oh my gosh. So they know, please do not come to me and ever ask me to speak at your event. And please come to me knowing you're going to have to pay for me, because I've already set that in their heads, because I bought my own photographer and my videographer, my own social media, my own makeup artist. Do you understand? You got to do the thing. You got to do the thing. But I had to pay for them, you know. So I had to pay for them. But I know the footage, once the footage is done, babes, it's going to look so good, right? That's what it is. And the thing is, we live in such a fickle world. Perception is projection. That's the thing, you know. So play the game until you're in the game to switch up the game. Yeah. So have a think about how much you have to pay. That's a personal thing you have to work out, but think about how much you have to pay, and then think about who are the audience. Find out from the event organizer about video, photography. Do you get that? Find out if they can give you some testimonials and if they can refer you on to other events that might be suitable for your talk. And then all of that is a good investment, depending on how much. I mean, if it's like 5K, gosh, you know. But in saying that, Simone has spoken at events and he's invested heavily. One of them, I think he must have invested about like £1,000. He made £15,000 at the back of it. So I would say that was a very good investment. Yeah. So, you know, you've got to weigh that up. But hopefully that's helped.
Thank you. Yes.
All righty. Good. Patricia, have you got another question, or is that a legacy hand?
Actually, I want to add something to Carolina Koza, I think, or Caroline. So I'm actually part of CSI. It's a Common Society Issue program in Dublin. And we're actually planning to invite people who actually manage mental and health issues. But the thing is, I don't know yet the date, and I actually planned to present that next time when I know a little bit about the date. And I just wonder, that speaking when you have Carolina, when exactly will be in October?
First, second, and third, but it's also up for 10. I mean, it is not a live event. It is an online event with pre-recorded presentations, but every evening we have a little discussion. So people can pop in and ask their questions or discuss their thoughts. And then that's first, second, and third. And on fourth, which is a Monday, we have another Q&A meeting during the day. So for people who couldn't participate in the evening because they are maybe parents. And then the event is up till 10th of October. So I can't do anything first, second, third, and fourth. But wherever your event is, or for whatever you need me, I would be really happy to participate.
I think
okay, ladies, to stop you there. I'm just conscious of time.
Sorry.
If you connect outside of this, continue the conversation, because I think there's value in that, and I don't want that conversation to end. But I'm just conscious that we've got.
That's okay. That's okay. So, that's okay, Michelle? If next time I can give opportunity to everyone and I explain more, because I don't know the dates and I'm not ready today to discuss. I'm waiting for the date, so then I can give more information to everyone. But I think, Carolina, I think it will be too late for you, because we're planning around the end of October to do interviews where you can actually, do advertisement about that. So I think will be late for you.
Okay, guys. All right, brilliant. Thank you. So Carolina, we can continue that conversation separately. Brilliant. Let's move on. V, my darling. Veronica, how are you doing? Over to you.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm really well. This question's really quick. Has anyone ever done a podcast where you didn't have access to the end product? No rights at all? Because I was in a situation last week where I was invited on to be a guest on the podcast, but then you had a form to fill in, and as I went down the form, I got to the bit where it says that I agree that that person has all rights, total rights to the recordings and whatever he wanted to do with them, and I'd have no access. So has anyone had to kind of turn down podcasts or went ahead anyway, just for the sake of getting the exposure?
I've got, can I answer that, Michelle? Yes, I had an American PR firm did that with me, but then they gave me a link, and then they decided to put me in a magazine. And when I do my radio show and my podcast, I say something similar, but what I'm saying is that it's more to say that I can use it as opposed to that you can't use it. So you should seek clarity, because I don't want to put something on the podcast for you to then tell me a year later you don't want it there. So it's worth asking what is meant by that.
Yeah, well, it was quite explicit in the phrasing, and I sent him an email declining the offer and stated why, that I thought I would have had at least some rights to the end products, but he hasn't responded. So I'm assuming that he wouldn't give me any access.
My thoughts is, if you come across that again, is just to check. So like for me, I have so many people on my podcast, I don't have the time to send them out. But if someone specifically asked for it, I would, as long as they didn't re-edit it. So the podcaster might be thinking they don't want you to edit what they have. So it's worth
Right.
checking rather than thinking, just check. And if they're American as well, they're much more sign up it, litigious than Brits.
Yeah, well, I did an American one and that was fine. There was no, that's yet to be broadcast. But this is a New Zealander and he hasn't responded to my email. It's been a week.
Okay.
So.
Interesting. Yeah, because you're, I guess all of us as guests, we're happy for the podcaster to use it because, put it on their community, wherever social media, but we also want to have ownership that we can use it as well. You've got to remember, it's your intellectual property, it's your words, your content, so you want to have some sort of ownership in the sense of I would like to use it as well. And agree that you're not going to like Judy was saying, like re-edit it. You can just use it in its format that you can your website and things like that. But
because it was going to be video as well for YouTube, so it was just
interesting. And they are quite more a bit more stringent out. Well, it's not the USA you were saying, but you want to be careful because even if you can you imagine if you then see it and then you download it and use it, they wouldn't be backward in coming forward to stating what was in the contract. So, and I think that's for everybody. Always read through these terms and conditions.
Yes.
Because although it sounds so great, oh yeah, I'm going to be featured here and there, always read between the lines. And if you ever need, to check it with legal counsel, then do so. Or you can always just check in with myself and Simone. What does this mean? And always go back to them. And if you don't feel comfortable that they're giving you the answer that you want, then leave it. Some things sometimes it's best to walk away. Good. Brilliant. Okay, we'll have one more question. Carolina, is that a legacy hand or do you have another question? Okay, cool. Anyone else? Any other questions before we go? Congratulations, Claire, first and foremost. Claire had an in-person speaking engagement on Saturday. She did really, really well. I heard her talk twice now, and it was really good. How was that experience for you, Claire?
It was pretty amazing. It was nerve-wracking because I was the last speaker, so I had to wait all day to go on stage. So my nerves were building as the day went on. Actually, and Rushi knows that because I was going, Rushi, help me. But actually, when I got on the stage, absolutely loved it. Actually, once I stepped on the stage and started talking, I felt calm, I felt in control, I felt empowered. I loved it, absolutely loved it. My only disappointment really is that it was running so late that there was no time. I mean, even my poor partner, John, who was there to help me when people went over to the table, the organisers were literally pulling the tablecloth out from underneath him and trying to, and it was hold on, that's ours. Don't even take that, right? It was manic, So that was the only thing I've learned is that also there were some technical hitches. My testimonial didn't play. So whenever you're doing videos at a talk, put subtitles on them. Be prepared for everything to go wrong. I should have had QR codes on my screen. I should have got people to stand up and go over to my table during my talk, as it was the very last talk, so that I didn't need time at the end for people to do stuff. So I felt I left a lot of money on the table, despite doing my absolute utmost for the first time ever. I thought of everything, and there is a big learning there for me, definitely. But I loved it. I loved being on the stage.
Brilliant. And I think you've made some really good points for all of us to bear in mind. The QR codes are really brilliant because people can just click it straight away. Getting people to engage as you're speaking, to go over there, to complete, to fill out, whatever. So, and I'm glad that it was a good learning for you, because then you'll know how to optimize it next time.
Yeah, and I hope that the speaker reel and all of that, I hope that showcases me in a good light. And another thing I did, like you, Michelle, I actually got off the stage, didn't I? I actually walked among the whole audience. I touched everybody's, I tried to connect on a personal level with everybody in the room. Everybody in the room.
Brilliant, good. And all learned from that, and I can't wait to see your show reel and your images and stuff from that, which you can utilize. Brilliant. Okay, guys, I think we're done. If there's any last questions, speak now, forever hold your peace. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right.
Hi.
Who's that?
I was there, yeah. Michelle, could you also tell how do we use this QR code with your presentation? Because I can use that.
Yeah. I think how it happens that you if you go on to QR, is it QR reader or something, Claire?
Yeah, it's really easy. You just literally Google how to create a QR code, and I used the first one that came up. And you just have a link, like you would put even a bit.ly link or your scheduling link or your website link, whatever link you want. And it comes up with a little image. You can put your logo in the middle of the image. I created several, so I've made them look slightly different so I don't forget what's what. And I've actually now, because of this experience, put it on the presentation I'm giving to Carolina's audience for the parenting. So I'm saying, here's the QR code to book your call, pause the screen, take a screenshot. This is what happens, right? It's the way forward. This is how you can get online presentations to convert before you even get to the end of your presentation.
Yeah.
And it is up on the summit page. So
awesome.
Beside her photograph. So it's like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the Q&A session today. Looking forward to seeing all the follow-ups, the next steps for everybody that spoke today. And for those who didn't have a question, I'm sure that you've still learned some stuff from other people's responses as well. So good, guys. Let's keep engaging in the group. Any wins, feel free to keep sharing those. Any other questions, feel free to put them in the group. Those people who have sessions with me, look out for an email from my PA. She's sending out my calendar link. So that's for Jan and Claire, Judith. Who else do I have here? Janine. Yeah. All right, my darlings, have a great day. Go out and be great. Lots of love. Bye, everyone.